The eTILE 19M. The eTILE 19M is a new and latest addition to our all-in-ones portfolio. But on top of that, it's also by far the thinnest we ever produced. This system measures a thickness of barely 30 millimeters, which is really thin for a product in this category. It comes with a lot of interesting features, which one of them are the IP rated screen, very low power consumption, and integrated webcam, and much more. All these features I will mention during this webinar. As you can see, there's a lot of specs. I will not go through every single one of them. One of the most important features of the eTILE 19M is that it is equipped with the QM77 from Intel. It's the latest one, and it also, of course, runs with a third generation Intel i-Core, the i3-3120M. So this is also the latest CPU from Intel with the latest graphics 4000 GPU, which supports DirectX 11. It also comes with a projected capacitive multi-touch screen with 10 points and has a resolution of 1366 by 768, so basically HD ready. Besides that, it also has a LED-based backlit, so not CFL but LED. To make sure you also can integrate Wi-Fi antenna, or actually Wi-Fi easily, we already included 2 Wi-Fi antennas internally, so you do not need to purchase any external Wi-Fi antennas. It's already integrated. These Wi-Fi antennas can also handle Bluetooth. And like our digital engines, this system also has a watchdog timer, which we will explain a little bit further on. This is the back of the system, the bottom basically. The back of the systems, you will see 2 speakers. Left and right, and a mono microphone. On the bottom there's all the connections. All the connectors are shielded with a punch out panel. You can punch out the holes so you can put the cables through. And underneath this shield you can find all the connectors, like 2 RS-232 ports, a power plug that will get its power from an adapter that provides 120 watts at 19.5 volt, 2 USB 2 ports which can supply 2 ampere each. Be aware, normal USB 2 can only supply half an ampere. There's also 2 USB 3 ports which can also supply 2 ampere each. Normally USB can only supply 1 ampere. The high current support allows you to connect external devices such as HDD, scanners, printers, cash registers, etc. So it's very convenient, because normally with USB you connect, for example, an external hard drive, but it won't work because of the fact that it doesn't have enough power. With this solution you have 2 amperes per port, which should allow you to connect just about anything. In case you want to share a screen, there's also an HDMI connector. And of course, for a network connection we also supply RJ45 network connector, so you can connect up to 1 gigabit switches to it. For those that need audio, we also have included 2 3.5mm jacks for microphone and stereo output. On the front we have a 10-point projected capacitive touchscreen, which is completely flat. So there's no edge. This is very good for hygienic circumstances. Therefore it's also IP65 compliant, because nothing can get through. Also on the front we have a 1.3 megapixel web camera, which can be used, for example, for Intel AIM analytics software. On the side we have 3 pinch holes, one of which is the power button and 2 are for brightness control. Those pinch holes can only be operated with a paperclip or a special tool we will provide. This is for extra security, so that end users cannot accidentally power off the system or adjust the brightness. In very short, with all those features, it's tough, resilient, powerful, versatile, or if you have any more good things to say, then please let me know. Now we're getting to a very interesting part, which is also included in our digital engines. It's called the watchdog timer. The reason we address this part separately, because we need to explain it a lot, so we do it now in this webinar. If you have any questions about this watchdog timer afterwards, please do not hesitate to ask them. We're very happy to answer all your questions about this, but I will just go over it very briefly. Basically, the watchdog timer is a very simple countdown timer, which we enabled in our hardware via Super I/O. The Super I/O chip also controls the RS-232 and other input-output within the whole system. But what we did, we used one of the countdown timers in it, which you can address via machine language or another programming language. For Windows, we can include a software development kit, so you can use your C++ or C# or whatever programming language to control this software development kit. What happens is your application, so not Windows itself, but your application tells the watchdog timer to reset. In this case, maybe you set it for 1 minute. The minute you tell the watchdog timer to reset, it will count down from 1 minute to 0. The minute the countdown timer hits 0, it will activate a hardware reset. So the system will not shut down properly, it will just cold reset. After reset, of course, the system will start normally, and hopefully whatever crashed the system in the first place will be resolved. If not, the system just keeps resetting. The more important thing to know about this is that you have to program it into your system critical application. So it's not an application we can give you. We can give you test applications, you can see how it works, but we cannot make it available in BIOS or give you an application that co-works with your application. You have to program it into your mission critical application, like the video player or like a cash register system. If this particular part of software crashes or no longer responds, it can no longer set or reset the watchdog timer. Therefore, the watchdog timer will reach 0 at some point and then give a hard reset. That's the whole point of this watchdog timer. The advantage is, on top of a software watchdog timer, I mean, if a software watchdog timer crashes, it can no longer function. Therefore, it is sort of redundant, right? But the hardware watchdog timer cannot be stopped. If the application crashes, there's no way another application can stop this counter from counting down. So it will reach 0 at some point. I hope this is clear. If not, please do not hesitate to contact us. Another very important feature of this system is the very low power consumption. Remember, this is an all-in-one, so PC plus screen. And this sheet you see in front of you shows you the maximum power consumption. So the processor is running at 100%, the hard drive is running at 90%, and we connected some stuff to the USB. In total, with all this running, it only uses 60.6 watts. Which is very low for a 19-inch screen with the system mounted inside. In average use, it will take about 43 watts. Still very, very low for an all-in-one with all these features. Where can we use it? Well, just about anywhere you can use a screen. So corporate and banking, industry, hospitality, retail, transportation, digital signage in general, or video analytics, shelf media, which is very popular these days. Yeah, you put a small-ish screen into a shelf, you show advertisement, and you can using video analytics using Intel AIM, for example, or in the kiosk, because it's an IP65 screen, you can use it in the kiosk because it doesn't care about water spilling over it, or maybe even in school as a student system. Anywhere you can use this kind of screens. To summarize, it's an ultra-thin all-in-one. It has a very potent eTILE CPU in there. It has a projected capacitive multi-touch, 10 points. It uses very little power and is ruggedized as it has IP65 on the front. And on top of that, it looks really nice. Thank you very much, and signing off.